And welcome back, everybody, here to the ESL Pro League Season 7 Finals. Obviously in wonderful, sunny Dallas, where it's some amazing stuff. We're not, of course.
We're not, of course.
But,
not quite as sunny here in Poland, but can't be too jealous.
No, it's true. It's still nice days. Obviously, the wonderful studio is still it's a good temperature.
When we see the day,
it's very true.
We leave in the night and we come in the morning, but
them time zones.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all been good so far. Poland's a good place to be, actually. I quite like it here. Cheap food, good food as well. Company's good with yourself as well. And so far, I've had some great matchups.
Yeah, you're a pierogi boy. I've seen you eating too many. Every day, he's just hammering down pierogi. That's all he does. Bloody hell. But should be a great second match up, really, here with the, obviously, Renegades versus Grayhounds. First matchup, in terms of that map, it went really the distance. It was good to see. It looked like Grayhound had a good start, obviously off on the right foot, slowed down a little bit towards the middle portion. Then they just bounced back on that second half. They woke up, they came in strong, just dominance being done, but the caveat was Jacob. He was just too much to handle.
Crazy, wasn't he?
A knockout performance there for Renegades.
Yeah, what if they don't have Jacob there dropping nearly 40 frags in regulation to weather the storm that was Grayhound, finding momentum finally. Yeah. You know, 13-5 down, winning, what was it, 8 rounds in a row, 13-13. Obviously, the same narrative, all these Cinderella stories not quite panning out to how they expected to be. They let it slip versus a half-buy, CZ, scouts and whatnot at 13-13. And of course, an ace from Jacob, switching out weapons, as you said, a gun game.
He loved it.
Orps, AK, CZs, you name it. And there you have it, 14-13. And the money was broken. The best they could ask for was overtime. But Jacob said no.
Yeah, he was not interested in allowing that to happen. And the fact is now, moving on from that, it means it's going to be cash. And when you look at it on paper then, the first map obviously being overpass in cash, you assume, all right, this could go quite close in the first matchup, potentially a win. Yeah. And then you sort of think, right, cash, this could be a much quicker affair. This could be a Renegades smash down, really.
Yeah, I mean, in the prediction before the game started, I said, you know, a 13-16, a 12-16 on the first map. You know, Grayhound showing us the best they have to offer potentially. And if the best is enough to take a map, who knows on Mirage? It could be a coin toss, obviously, this being a domestic, you know, derby. Both these teams coming from Australia. The issue is, though, it's not quite the same caveat as when it's, you know, Astralis versus, I don't know, North or another team that's from Denmark where they are from the same region, they practice the same region, they're best friends, they talk all the time, you know, FPL, they play together. It's very different when you have one team playing and practicing from North America, another from Australia. Yeah,
that's the thing, because, I mean, obviously, these players aren't Australian. You've got 3 of them there that have all come from the land down under, but the fact is they don't really play against each other too much anymore because they've been distant from the region for quite some time. Obviously, since Renegades allowed them to move out there and everything sort of changed up, it's been a while since they were just plumbers.
How does it feel losing to Easy Skins on Dust 2 at LAN?
Is that a budget sponge joke?
Yeah, of course.
Banter.
5 players in towards the A side teams from Renegades. Grouping up here, they have the smoke towards Highway. Flashes to come in towards the site as well. But Grayhound, good read on this pistol. So they have 3 players here towards the A side.
Well, let's see how it's going to go, Snadoodle, if they can actually get something going for him. They burst their way out. Ustillo going to try and hit him with the height of the Glock burst as he finds the initial frag, but Gratisfaction fires back through. He's tagged down at just 13 HP, though, so he's not too healthy, but he's still finding kills as he punishes everyone. That's a triple collected for him, and it just comes down to JKS, but this is a 1 versus 2. They have no idea of his angle right now. They do have the bomb, however, and they're into a good position, but they are so low on health. They don't have too much to actually keep them in this. Their sustain is low.
13 HP for Gratisfaction. 28 from Malta. No Kevlar once again this time, but no longer going to be Wood in the Deagle. Has the defuse kit at hand. A mistake they've obviously gone back and changed. JKS now full HP. Back in towards A main, expecting push from Grayhound to seek out information as a 2-man unit, but instead, they are split up here. Oh, the tag as well. Both players now 1 bullet away from death.
Yeah, that is wild. The fact that he's barely held on to life there at 8 HP. 20 seconds. So JKS is a little bit pushed for time. He's got to try and tiptoe his way up ever so slightly. Gratisfaction somehow stays alive, but JKS, this could be another pistol round 1 just at the wire from this one man. He's trying to toy with him by opening the door. If he does push through, though, all it'll take is 1 shot to close it out. Now readjusts, decides to go for the bigger picture. Get the bomb, get spotted out on the cross, charges his way round, but the timing's awkward. He was lobbing out a grenade. Goes down as he punishes him.
2 versus 1 there from Grayhound, playing so scared and passive there. Spotting for information. Malta there, peeking towards peeking towards A main, peeking towards Highway, trying to see if they can spot out JKS. By the time they have, he's already peeked, died. I feel like in that situation, if you're Malta, you should play off contact from Gratisfaction towards door, which they tried to do. The problem was, though, Gratisfaction missed the first headshot. Malta missed the second headshot and allowed for JKS to find the frag towards quad. He knew exactly where Gratisfaction was. There you have it. Missed shots from Grayhound, created opportunity that JKS took with both hands. Round number 2 then. 1-0 for Renegades. As we see, maybe the beginning of the end of this tournament for Grayhound as they fall short in the first map. They showed us their best. 16-13, close matchup that Jacob managed to pull Renegades over the finish line with. I'm not sure if it's enough.
Yeah, especially the fact as well that now Renegades, off the back of that, they're into a good position. Obviously, it's that T-side start. You want to set the pace. You want to set the tempo. You want those AKs in your hand to be able to play a little bit more flamboyant, and that's the position they're going to be in now. You got the SMGs being donned by 3 players, MP7, 2 UMPs, and then the 2 AKs to slay on Ustilo and JKS nods. Dick Stacey actually just walks his way up, goes for a contact face and obliterates JKS there, slumps him with a deagle. So a good start at least.
5 versus 4. As you said, a strong start for Grayhound into this round, but we're still going to be favouring Renegades here. They have the firepower, the utility, and the Kevlar as well to back it up. Gratisfaction and Malta both saved in terms of their armor. But creeping up towards highway here. Here comes the final push.
Oh, this works fantastically as well. They're actually able to bait from behind, going for the fire from Zed there. Everyone's turned around immediately. You have the crossfire on the 2 players playing by Electric Box, then close towards Forklift. They find those frags. That was really nicely done by Grayhound, but it's still going to have to be a retake on the A site. Going to be a little bit easier for him to get back into, but it's going to still be a struggle. You've got the AK in Gratisfaction. He has a HE. Dick Stacey only armed with his trusty deagle, but he's already laid out 1 player with a 50 caliber bullet of pain, so let's see if he can do it again. Azza just waiting hungry for these frags, finds the initial headshot. Gratisfaction's got to do it all on his lonesome now. Trapped on his Todd with an AK in his hands, but he's going to be quaking in his boots, Nods. No real potential to actually win this one unless they swing wide, and it all went wrong. But he had no kit, he had no real time, so it was just a consolation frag at the end there.
Oh, if he lands this jump.
This could be cheeky. Oh, this could be filth, actually, if Gratisfaction was a tad bit quicker. That would have been amazing.
Close, but no dingo. As we see, 2-0 now for Renegades. Both rounds being close. Only 1 player surviving from that last round, and that player being Azza. All drop over an AK to drop for a teammate. So we shall see. Khalil for JKS, 2 AKs for Azza and Nifty, 2 SMGs for Jacob and Nistillo. And the buy for Grayhound, not quite as affluent. Just going to be the Kevlar invested into behind the AK from Gratisfaction. Apart from that, P250 for Dexter. So nothing too elusive, nothing too strong here to go out for Grayhound. They have the 1 sole AK that's towards the B side from Gratisfaction, expecting a B hit from Renegades, maybe a B rush or a set B play. But instead, if they don't rotate that AK fast, it's all going to be for nothing. Frivolous in that save, as it won't actually amount to anything.
They're going to go for this contact face once again. Dick Stacey walks into the unknown, but this time around, they're going to bite back. JKS finds the kill with the Galil. Everyone else just sprints their way through vent and actually tackles the men in front of them as well. As Mount will hit the deck, it's down to Dexter, Gratisfaction to hope to achieve anything. It's just 1 kill. A casualty on Nifty, a free upgrade to an AK there though for Jacobs. They're not going to be bothered in the slightest. Now we get into the actual rifle round as well. Here's where the real damage is going to come out. What have Grayhound got to show us on their CT side here, Cash?
Orb. 4 Gratisfaction. M4s to round off the rest of the CT buy. 1 defused kit for Malta. Seems like Malta has been the support player here for Grayhound so far. Buying the kits and the pistols, playing, you know, sometimes with lesser firepower to afford more grenades, being the kit boy in certain situations as well. Enough of that. And into the actual bare bones of this round. The buys were good from both teams, but so far the frags are only good for Renegades.
Dexter has had to reposition there quite rapidly as well, so it's quite awkward because they've just got so much mid control. Just bursts from Renegades, they're just so confident.
Nifty JKS finding frags onto the B site. 5 versus 2 here, smoke in towards CT. Smoke as well towards Heaven. Gonna mean probably a save here from Grayhound going forward. As all 5 players from Renegades stay alive. M4s as well, retrieved from the dead bodies from Grayhound, which means, you know, fully efficient here. Don't waste money investing into AKs. They can save these M4 rifles into further rounds to come. And that's just going to add to the tally they have. You know, 4-round advantage now. The money's in their favor. They will get one consolation frag as Grayhound Dexter gets the kill onto Jacob exiting towards T-Spawn. But apart from that, Azza here with the flashbang as well. Oh, works so perfectly, but comes out the wrong way.
Yeah, bust through the door, waving the 4-4, but not going to be able to find anyone as his teammates will do the damage instead. Nifty eliminates Dexter. Gratisfaction goes down, and that's Renegades with a 4th round now. So the first buy round where Grayhound actually were able to get out rifles didn't go anywhere near the manner they wanted it to. So this is just going to be tremendous for Renegades, really. This will be a great early start. This should be another 3 round achieved here, bringing it up to a 5-0. Grayhound are not in a great spot, Snods.
Eco now coming out from Grayhound as we used to be seeing on these sorts of scenarios where you win the pistol, you go 3-0 up, you win the first buy round, you're then 5-0 up. You know, if this was a best of 1, we'd be saying, you know, great start for Renegades, they can close this map out off of this momentum, being 5-0 up on their T-side cash. But you could actually see this as a best of 1. Grayhound, if they lose this round, or this map, sorry, they're going to be falling out of the tournament only onto the 2nd day. As both these teams lost their opening matchups, now they are playing the eliminated best of 3 to try crawl their way through to the bracket play.
Yeah, that lower bracket slog to actually get themselves back to a good position. And it does mean only one Australian team can go through. So obviously, it's quite a fierce battle between the 2 sides from the nation. Urcast and Gratisfaction. Make that just Gratisfaction as Urcast gets slumped, and Yustillo as well will tackle Gratisfaction. That's another round for Renegades as we expected, giving them that 5th. The rebuy is now there on the horizon for Grayhound.
Wow, wow, wow. 5 rifles here for Renegades once again. So far, not going to be switching out the AWPs. This might mean they go for a higher octane style of CS. Obviously, when you have the AWP in your inventory, you can slow down the round, give your AWP time to work the map, go towards checkers, see if there's a peek there from an AWP, see if there's a play dropping in from heaven to checkers, go in towards their main, clear out MBK, clear out quad, get boosted up, peek in towards connector and highway, and peer into those angles. But instead, you can see, without the AWP, they play higher, faster pace CS. You have JKS faking towards the B site, throwing all of his grenades at the start of the round, and now it comes back towards A, where the 4 players from Renegades are currently situated. We call this one the 4-1 style of CS, where one player fakes towards one half of the map and draws rotations away from the actual game plan, which is hitting the opposite side.
Gratisfaction just waiting till Renegades are going to throw themselves once more into the fray of the A-bomb site. That's where he needs to really punish. He's got to land some big shots and capitalize against them to take them down a notch as they get themselves ready. The utility's going to be lobbed out. Angles being blocked, vision being restricted, and the push comes through. Gratisfaction will connect that shot onto the first man, but Nifty, quite a nifty little boost there. Gets himself up on top of Fork, is able to find the initial frag. JKS's head's going to get a haircut as Cast will detect him and take him down. It's just a 3-on-4 now, Snods, on the retake situation towards the A site. Grayhound, they're in a position to actually win this, but they've got to play it together. They've got to play it smart. Flashbang's keeping them at bay as well. They've got utility. Jacob pushes up close, and Urcast will suspect it, get the kill. Malta tackles Nifty, and it's all on Azza, the big man himself, to finish it off, but he is going to be sent off to the Burns ward, it seems, as Malta will ignite the spark of the resistance here from Grayhound.
Great retake here from Grayhound coming in towards the A site. They played it patiently. They had the AWP playing the angle towards the bomb wall, found the first frag, eventually got treaded out eventually by Nifty, as you said, a 4 versus 4. But from that point, Grayhound with the boost to come with the flanking towards their main, catch JKS off guard, get the advantage that way. Well-placed grenades as well with flashbangs, Molotovs going into the positions to flush out the players from Renegades, to force and draw out the peaks into the places they were holding. 1-5 then as Grayhound begin a bit of a comeback here. Is it going to be a one and done, or can they try and build a foundation of rounds off of this one? Because, Jack, if they get reset and it does go 6-1 and the round loss bonus goes back down to $1,400, this could be a very, very, very swift first map. If we do see an 8 or 7-1 advantage for Renegades, after closing out that map eventually on Overpass, Grayhound really need to dig deep in.
Oh, headshot there for Azza. Finds that connection onto Urcast, but Gratisfaction actually fires back through, takes down Jacob. Nifty as well. Does damage also. Mount are going to be able to lay out JKS.
Ooh.
Dexter with a rapid shot. That was speedy. Renegades have only got a duo left. It's Nifty and Yastillo. But let's see if this dynamic squadron can actually achieve anything. Nifty with the AWP will be able to connect the first one. Send Dick Stacey off to the underworld and leave it just on Dexter and Mount to try and clutch it out on the retake in a 2v2. Connection there from Nifty on Mount as they go for the jump face around. That's also a big read. Dexter does his Bruce Willis impression as he pushes through the vent, but he gets slain in the end. Yastillo gets that shot off. In the meantime, Nifty had already found a frag as well. So Grayhound, you got 1 round. But the reset comes in, the money's going to be broken. That's now going to be probably a 7th round for free for Renegades. And from there onwards, it's just an awkward position to be in.
Yeah, really a debilitating round to lose, because not only do you lose that 1 extra to go down 6-1, but your money's worn down so low. $1,000 for Dick Stacey. They will be going for the save into this one, but this might even be a double save coming up for Grayhound. Obviously, into the next round, Dick Stacey will only have, you know, $2,900, $3,400 for Malta. You know, these players can't buy. So it's going to go 7-1 unless they can win with the pistols. And then 8-1 as well if they do go for the double save. So Renegades, a team of this caliber, are they going to be letting up such a big advantage like they did on Overpass?
Figures as well, Renegades are now ready for this aggression we've seen from the B site on these rounds. Grayhound have pushed it pretty consistently now for around 4 rounds. So all you've got to do is just hold, wait for that push, kill the initial aggressor, and it already gives you that first early frag. Renegades, though, only have a trio left. So does Grayhound. It's a 3v3. Let's see where this push actually comes from. Yastillo was above a man there. Didn't realize that Dick Stacey was just below him on the lip of the vent. Tries to kill Gratisfaction, will get that frag, and now that's the A site conceded for free. They're allowed to just bombard their way up and try and lock it down. Unless Urcast can go wild, you would need to have a monstrous play with this Deagle. Misses the first contact shot, slumps Nifty though, as he obliterates him. I mean, that is beautiful stuff, but it's still too little too late. It's down at Dick Stacey to clutch it. He's got an AK. He just needs to rip him a new one. He's going to have to hit him with a Dick Stacey Rhino, but it isn't going to happen today. Is punished by Yastillo. Another round for Renegades as we expected, but still quite a close affair.
The real question is now, though, are they going to go for the force? Ooh, for a second there, when I saw Urcast invest into Kevlar, I thought that might have been the beginning of a buy. But instead, it's just going to be the half buy here. The Quasi smokes onto Dexter, Dick Stacey, Urcast so far. Kevlar as well. Deagles and P250s and CZs. Nothing too elaborate as of yet. But we've seen the power of these pistols so far in this tournament. With no Kevlar behind 3 of them as well, you really have to be diminishing the value that these pistols really have. You know, if they get a frag and pick up an AK, we've already seen the aim punch be a massive factor in this best of 3. 5 AKs here for Renegades. No AWP will be brought up by Nifty as he is here on our screens. And this is the reason why the AK is so dynamic versus the AWP. Doesn't have to stop and scope in. Up close as well, if you miss that first shot, you have the spray to fall back on. As now they charge in towards the side.
Yeah, just bombarding their way through, trying to overwhelm anyone that is hunkered down in position. And Grayhound, they've just been punished, really. Put to rest. And it's just Urcast and Dick Stacey that remain. Jacob as well connects a quick rapid shot there onto Dick Stacey. Urcast, he can hold for the exit frags, actually. If they want to and they exit together back in towards T-spawn, maybe he can get something. But instead, it looks like he might actually go try and set himself up to find a weapon once that bomb blanc goes off. See if he can grab a gun, if anyone's going to exit down close towards mid. Jacob's there, but he's on a heightened angle. And Jacob has been mauling everyone this game. And is it going to be happening again? Detects Urcast. It's like a game of hide and seek, and he's the victor.
7-round deficit now for Grayhound as we see another buy come their way. Jacob doing his best JKS impression.
Yeah, going to be reminding him of what he did in the first map.
Yeah, redemption. All for Gratisfaction, M4s across the board. Strong, very strong utility now for Grayhound, but how are they going to use it? Are we going to be seeing the A-main take we saw from Sharks and many other teams here at this tournament where you group behind the A-main smoke, you molly the back, you flash in, you take A-main control behind the smoke? Very, very effective at catching teams off guard. Instead, they are pushing in towards Squeaky Door. Actually, no, I think that's the boost. It's hard to see on the mini-map. But Molotov's actually going to be used better and utilized in more efficient ways by Renegades themselves, as they will flush out the peak from Urcast before he goes 1-for-1. But, as we know, Jack, the 1-for-1 trades always favor the Ts. The reason being is it splits the CT defense in half. 2 towards A, 2 towards B, and we could be seeing a 1 versus 4, essentially, towards one of these sides from Renegades.
Gratisfaction's actually being hunted as well. Ustillo is his stalker right now. Takes that time to line up a graceful shot. 1 bullet, 1 kill is all he requires, but there is a response. Dexter, the heightened angle gave him the high ground, so he'll slay his old Padawan. Takes down Ustillo, now falling back into a 3 versus 3 rather, as this push comes out towards the B site. The Ts are there banging on the door, ready to just accelerate their way in and secure the site. But can Grayhound resurge against this? Is a retake going to be on the cards? They burst their way in instantaneously. Dick Stacy with 1, but not the second. JKS as well, trying to get that bomb down now. A Molotov will be launched across, and Jacob had his vision firmly fixed up top there. Spots out the head of Dexter and will lop it off, meaning Renegades get a 9th round, and these have been very, very quick rounds.
9-1 then. Grayhound, I feel like that's one of the last attempts they really had in this half. I mean, not only because of the scoreline, but in terms of confidence as well. 8-run advantage for Renegades. Just 7 away from closing it out. And maybe 6 as well when you take a glance at the buy from Grayhound here. Just pistols, once again only a few players buying armor. But each and every time they get the first kill with pistols, be it with Deagles, be it with CZs, we always end up losing the round in towards the crunch time of it. But maybe the difference here was the 2 opening picks they have into this one. 5 versus 3 is Azza coming in towards Highway. Gets spotted out as well by Dexter. So that's great information found out by Grayhound. They know that Renegades are here towards middle. And with a good flashbang, or maybe some well-timed pushes, Urcast could get the drop on Azza.
Yeah, does just that. Removes him. He's going to be able to recover that weapon if he actually does want to try and scavenge the AK and bring it further into the later rounds. Right now, he just holds strong. It's only 2 players that remain. Renegades have Jacob and JKS Lee. J-Squad, but Dick Stacy will punish the first. Looks for more as he's feeling confident. He's up and ready, but he's not quite going to be able to land it, and the push comes through. JKS trying to use that as a bit of a shooting gallery there, but couldn't actually get the shots off. Snod, a bit flustered by the fact there was too many in such close proximity. Expected the faces, was trying to prioritize the target, and instead goes down from above. And Renegades, that streak comes to a halt for right now. Grayhound, though, they haven't been able to connect any rounds together. They've been blips, one-offs here and there. And hopefully that doesn't happen to them again, because their economy would instantly be reset. They'd be left in such a dire position once again. And at that point, that's when Renegades can just run away with basically the entire rest of this half.
You're not wrong there. If we do see a second reset now for Grayhound, the first reset resulted in 3 rounds gained by Renegades. And if the same happens in the second, you could be looking at a 12-3 half here as a bare minimum from Renegades. So we need to be seeing some consistency, continuity from the second round gained by Grayhound, as with 1 minute 25 seconds left on the clock. Default from Renegades. Jacob holding for the mid push. JKS once again in towards Sunrim, holding for any extension from Grayhound if they do push aggressively towards B. 2 towards A main, ready for a counter A main control sort of play with flashbangs and Molotovs, as you see Ustillo's here, counter flash. And then of course Azza in towards door, playing those lurk sort of positions.
Oh, nifty with the adjustment, but doesn't actually get the headshot. Trying to offer out a free haircut there, though. Let's see what they're actually going to get up to. Playing it slow and steady. Jacob on the cross. Got spotted out by Mouter. They're going to go for the boost up, but Urcast lying in wait for it. And he actually does have support as well. Mouter can launch out the Molotov. This will slow down the push, force Ustillo to drop off, and that's a ton of damage as well.
Will delay the boost as well with only 30 seconds left. Great frag found, great Molotov as well, positioned to slow down the pace from Renegades. As the boost comes out towards, well, aforementioned boost. Molly out towards the vent as well, which is exactly where we saw Mouter. As he actually drops in towards middle, doesn't drop in towards the B side of the map. That's going to be a mistake potentially. That could come back to haunt Grayhound. 4 versus 4 now as Renegades are bashing down the doors at B.
Yeah, Renegades are just sprinting in. They are hungry for this. Nifty with the AWP, the last man left standing, and he isn't standing for long, as now he is sleeping with the fishes. Eliminated by Dick Stacy. They've got a double AWP setup now on Grayhound as well. They scavenged one of them. They can drop that over. See what they're actually going to get up to with this. This is quite curious.
Well, cash is still here for Renegades, but not really for too much longer. 2,000 left for Razza and Jakin, but apart from that, Grayhound win this round. They're going to draw out an eco. Obviously, round number 13, they win it 4-9. Round number 14, you imagine Renegades save for the last round, so maybe 5-9, and they can try play for a 9-6 scoreline, which would be far, far better than when we saw them 9-1 down. If they can try claw out even a 10-5, that's going to be much better than they expected, and they can be content with that. For now, though, minute 30 left on the clock. 3 players in towards the squeaky door, as they're going to try burst their way in towards the site and swarm it, but we have Granite's factions up towards high, which could peek in towards squeaky. And we also have Dexter there on towards the A site, but also JKS trying to lurk in towards the mid play once the door push comes. No longer going to be a factor.
Yeah, he's going to be satisfied with that one. Oh, Yustillo as well with the upshot on towards Dexter. Flashbangs go over. They can get this bomb down now. Yustillo still just popping heads as he's keen for it. An absolute gamer as he finds that second frag. Now bringing it back into a 3 versus 4. Renegades, they've got site control. They're in nice post-plant angles. They're in good positions. But Dick Stacey, he doesn't need vision. He's just feeling it as he fights his way through. The spray down comes in, though, to close that out at the end. And Renegades will get another round. That brings them up to 10 now, Snods. And going into round number 14, that is a 10-3 scoreline. This is Renegades on their T side as well, just setting the pace. And if you cast your mind back to what we saw with Grayhound versus Liquid as well, their T side was a bit stagnant. It was a bit struggling. I mean, their CT side is where they sort of found somewhat of momentum. They had more cohesion. They were trying to play their style of CS, but that T side, it wasn't the best.
Yeah, I believe it was like 11-4 half. They ended up losing 16-5, so they found 4 rounds in the CT half. But so far, not even able to muster up 4. Still stuck on the big round number of 3. They may be staying there for a while longer as they've lost the first player already. Still with the entry towards the A side. Dexter with a premature flashbang, you could argue, as Renegades just entered in towards A main before the flash even popped, so didn't really get too much value for money behind that one. So, mid-control now from Renegades. Smoke in towards Con, they can molly out sandbags, flash in towards the site, or the map itself. And a good reply here from Grayhound. They know they've lost their main control, they're losing mid-control now as well. Urkast's going to be conceding mid-control, falls back behind the connector smoke, and this means Grayhound had to make a move to gain map control back. They flash into a main, and now with the information that Malta has gathered, they can stack a 3rd player towards the B side. So very, very good change of pace and reaction to what Renegades did.
Ooh, there's the kill from Malta as well to Yustillo as he gets that first elimination. Cash just playing from the site as the push comes round, trying to lay him the rest with a CZ. Luckily, Dick Stacey's there to support him as well, as Dick Stacey proves how wild he can go as he grows in size there, finding those 3 frags, looking good, taking down Grayhound, taking down Renegades rather, and getting Grayhound finally another round on the board. I mean, that gives them a 4th. At this point, Snods, I mean, if they can somehow muster up a final round, get yourself a 5th round at the end of the half, get yourself some confidence, and come in strong with a big pistol, maybe there's something to play for.
Potentially, I mean, if it does go 10-5, we see Grayhound picking up the second half pistol on the T side. They can try get to that 10-8 scoreline, snowball the advantage they have to a 10-10 if they can win the first fire round, as we saw Renegades going 5-0 up in that exact scenario. But we shall see. Still a lot to play for, as right now they're 6 rounds behind. So to bring it back to a 10-10 means winning 6 in a row. But that's into the future. Right now into the present, they group up outside the B side. As of the entry now, as they can bombard their way in towards this B side, but it's Dick Stacey here to maybe try and dig Grayhound out of their grave.
Yeah, spamming down, but couldn't actually get the initial frag as he got one, but that was it. Gets punished back, and Nifty as well finds the rotate, the lurk player there on Dexter. Urkast from the elevated angle, though, not only high in terms of height, but high in skill as he finds a rapid hat trick. And it's just on Nifty to clutch it, but he has to be rapid on his feet. He's got to sprint his way over. There's not a chance in hell. That's the defuse. A 5th round for Grayhound. Brings it up with a 5-round deficit between these two teams. And this second half really is dependent on that pistol. This first pistol here on the second half can change so much.
Wow, from a 4 versus 2, Urkast with the elevated angle towards heaven lines up 3 individual peaks from Renegades, maybe over peak, well, definitely over peaking, getting overconfident as they walk into the crosshair, even onto low HP as well. So Great round from him. As he grants the 5th for Grayhound. But it's 5 enough, Jack? I'm not sure. All really to play for the pistol. If they lose it, we see the exact same scenario as we saw an overpass, a 13-5 potentially if the bomb isn't planted for Grayhound. And we saw how that one ended, where Grayhound showed us how they're best. They still couldn't even get the finish line over.
More of a standardised burst here. Go for the flashbangs over, jump around the angle and sprint into the bomb site. Dick Stacey with the first elimination. That's Jacob as well. So that's a nice, actually, open kill. Now you can try and push through the site, but CT's just wide open. Nifty is just allowed to find all the frags in the world. That's already 3 frags with his pea shooter as he's USP schooling them. And everyone's just hit the decks now. There's only 2 players that remain on that T side. This could have been a pistol round for Grayhound, and already it rapidly swings back in favor of Renegades as Justillo as well. Rips down Urkash. Justillo for a quick fire shot as he smashes in Dexter's face. And that's going to be Renegades with 11, and the pistol that goes their way. I mean, the amount they can grow now from this is ridiculous. They're going to be in such a good position before Grayhound can really even afford to buy again. No bomb plant, no pistol round, only 5 rounds of a buffer. It's just not enough.
Premature push towards the B site there from Grayhound, peeking and pushing in towards the site before the smoke towards CT even landed. Maybe the heat to the moment, the pressure. Ooh, being a defining factor there in that scenario as they peaked far too early, but I guess it's a lesson learned for the next one. They've already adjusted a few things from the first map and overpass into catch. But even then, the exact same scoreline, deja vu of the 11-5, losing the second half pistol. Bomb plant not happening, which means we are expecting to see a 13-5 scoreline if Renegades can win versus the Force. But so far on this map here, Dick Stacey, half his frags, feels like they've been from Deagle kills.
It really does. I mean, he's been a bit of a pistol king. He's been able to just take those fights and actually land major shots with it, but it's a shame it's not all comes together for the rest of the squadron. As of right now, though, it'll be an attack on the A site. Let's see if they can actually get in here, though, as Azza, he's lying in wait with the Famous, wants to go famous with this one as he bobs and weaves, takes down everyone who dares to defy him, eventually is killed by Urkash, but Nifty's there for the trade. That's now a 12th round for Renegades, only 1 casualty, and Azza's basically paid that off anyway. He had 3 frags with the Famous. Grayhound, they're not able to get the bomb down. They're never really given that extra oomph to give them a jump start.
Well, speaking of jump starts, a 7-round advantage is quite the start and the lead to have. Not only is it 7-round currently, you look at the buy now from Grayhound, most likely we see the 8-round lead, 13-5, you know, no Kevlar, no upgraded pistols as well, stuck onto 5 Glocks, no utility, no flashbangs for a burst play. The goal here for Grayhound is to get that bomb planted, but looking at the bare bones buy, it seems fairly minimal. We do see that outcome. But for now, though, Grayhound playing the slow round, expecting a push through the mid-smoke, or expecting some aggression here from Renegades to try and get cocky, confidence, and try and topple it. But instead, this is going to be JKS alone towards the A site. Has the MP9, so he's going to be able to farm up some strong cash. No, it's Azza, apologies. Even better. 30 bullets, and even more stronger bullets as well. High caliber.
Dexter's right behind JKS. He was somehow trailing behind him. This is how they must have known the B site was open as well. He's gone for the push round through B site. Dexter's got the read off that from his lurk. They can now quickly swing their way back in towards B and lock this down, but no, they can't. Jacob is just punishing them. 3 frags, it's over. The Jacob-Nifty combo, these two have been playing phenomenally, and it just works out well for them. They crush them as soon as Grayhound come and start banging on the door, trying to hopefully get a cheeky round in edgeways, but no, not going to happen. Renegades will deny that potential. Here comes the buy, though, and for Grayhound, this might be one of the last buys we see from them in this entire tournament, unless they get it together quick smart.
Quick smart. Quick pace and smart plays. Can they try and carry that one out at least? Smoking towards connector. Going to see if they can take mid-control here, so a good adjustment in terms of changing out their default from playing the passive play. But the default, as it's spread out across the map, they fall down 1 by 1. Well, they get 1 frag in return. Urkash with the frag onto Nifty and towards connector. Aggression now as Gratisfaction falls back for the ball. Oh, the 180 flick connects onto Justillo. 3 versus 3.
It's turned on him hard. That was beautiful to see, but let's see where it goes from here. Mount are going to be able to slay Azza. Jacob peeking out from the truck, seeing if he can get a foot above the competition. He's ready to rock and roll as he holds the angle. Mounter, 11 HP, falling back a little bit. deviating from the plan. JKS going to go for the flashbang out, take the face. Oh, barely misses the shot, but eventually on the reface will lay him to rest. And it's a 2v2. Jacob, will he find Dick Stacy? Dick Stacy completely unaware, focusing towards main. It all comes down to Gratisfaction. This is going to be hard to play from. You're trapped inside of door with an AWP watching the bomb in a 1 versus 2. You have the door open for you, though. You can try and get a spot, but they're going to close the door. Goes for the tag through, lands it on Jacob. JKS gets slain, taken down by the no-scope. The unzoom works out, and Jacob, I don't think he's got time for this. Oh,
just about makes it over. 14-5. Renegades get over the hump of that 13th. They don't allow for Grayhound to make it back slowly. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Back to 13-13. Instead, of course, who else would it be to send them to the 14th round again? As we saw an overpass, it was the ace from Jacob to get them over 14. And this time it's the 1 versus 1. 2 rounds away from going forward into the tournament with a swift 2-0. Going into play, I believe, 1 more best of 3 to make it into the quarterfinals, which would be great for them in terms of their success as of late, making it to 2 top 8 finishes at these big tournaments. But flashing towards their main, he still spots the bomb, and as you can see now, 3 players already here. Even Jacob's going to be joining the party towards middle, so 4 players close vicinity now towards the A side.
This round's pivotal, though, Snods. This means so much. Grayhound, what can they get from this? Can they actually get momentum? Is this going to be Renegades securing an overtime safety net at the absolute minimum and being 1 round away from 2-0ing the series and continuing on with their run here, knocking their brethren, Grayhound, out of the tournament and being the only Australian team that will remain here in the Dallas finals?
It does seem that way. Seems as if we won't be getting a passing of the torch over from Renegades to Grayhound as the Aussie Kings, but for now, let's see what Grayhound can do. So far, not too much, but a 1-for-1 trade's very good. Right now, the losing body's too fast here. Jacob, easy angle, found Molotov out towards the pit as well, goes for the reface.
That's on the bomb as well.
The bomb, yeah, actually covered right now.
Yeah, the bomb's completely ablaze. This is going to be so awkward for Grayhound, but Gratisfaction, he's trying to flick around like a lunatic as he needs to adjust his crosshairs. Him and Dexter spinning around in circles trying to find frags. Dexter eventually gets it together and owns 2 men there. Azza and Justillo completely gone, just like that. Snap of his fingers. Gratisfaction looking for a little bit more. 8 seconds left on the clock. The Molotov goes in. The bomb's going to be planted, but Dexter sent off to the Burns ward. He's gone. Just his ashes remain on the bomb site and Gratisfaction. Is it all going to go up in flames for him? Or will he be able to stay alive and keep Grayhound in it for a little bit longer? Give him an extra edge, a 6th round, rather than having to play for overtime. Nifty. He's a man with a plan, and he can be a lunatic in these sort of rounds, Snods. He's confident in clutches. He's cool like a cucumber. As he sleeps up, jumps on the bomb. He's just going to go for the defuse here. The Molotov goes in, but he's got no HP. Oh, the fireball there from Gratisfaction. You can tell he plays a mage.
14-6 then. Molotov just about sealing the deal. Nifty had 20 points of health extra. Would have been a defuse and a match point for Renegades. But instead, Grayhound bring it back. They reset the money for Renegades. They still have $6,000 for Nifty. But apart from that, everyone else from Renegades fairly poor, so they're not going to go for the buy. Just going to save this round, take it on the chin, and then go for full buy into round number 22. Which does mean we should be seeing a 7th from Grayhound, unless the Pistols can work their magic once again. For now, though, just Galils from many of the members from Grayhound. As Gratisfaction, remember, died after the bomb, which means no money saved for Grayhound. That's why we see these Galils here in play. Only utility onto 1 player, so the money is extremely low here for Grayhound. If Renegades can try and find 3, 4 frags here and make this costly for Grayhound, going into the next buy round, they can still be in a open situation.
It's also the fact right now they're getting tags out. They're getting their feelers out as well. They're in good positions in terms of where Renegades have been able to spread themselves across the map. And if they did actually, for some reason, win this round, they'd win the next. I mean, they'll probably win the game off the back of it. But the fact is, damage is being done. Renegades are being tagged up. They're being fragged up. They've already lost 1 man, 2 players as well, taking a bit of a scratch. Nifty's more of a bigger gash across him as he's left on 19 HP. So the push goes up towards the bomb site. They're going to get that planted by default. Cass waiting for him to flood his way in and gift him with some kills as he bathes himself in glory there. 2 frags, the final one connected by Gratisfaction, who will snipe JKS out of the server. Grayhound get a 7th round.
14-7. Renegades still doubling the scoreline being put up by Grayhound so far. So we're not going to be adjusting our predictions as of yet. I said it was going to be a 16-6, but Grayhound have done 1 round better. But can they make it even more than just 1 round better from my prediction? Can they make it once again to an all-squared 14-14? It seems very unlikely. You know, as casters, we always beg these ambiguous rhetorical questions, but do we always believe them? Not always. So still going to be favouring Renegades here. Let's see if Grayhound can give us something to cheer about and get hyped about in terms of some strong plays. Orb from Gratisfaction in towards A main, clearing out the angle. So right now for Grayhound, the noise being heard as well as Azza finds one. 1-for-1 trade, 4-for-4, but a very, very well-timed smoke here. Going to be delaying the push from Grayhound. They can't pounce on that A site, even though they found the entry.
Yeah, weren't allowed to go for it. They were warned there. They heard the call of Azza as he started firing against them and tackling their teammates. It's a 3 versus 3 to decide if this is going to be a 15th round for Renegades. And it's tight. It's all to play for. Grayhound, where do they go from here? 3 players trapped in a line, a divot though. As Dexter flicks round, finds the headshot back on Azza and somehow takes him down, barely holding on to his life force there with 19 HP. That's all he had left. Here comes the push out towards the A site, but Nifty, he's looking to do something naughty as he finds these frag. Ferocity is displayed, the claws have come out, and he is not going to be slowing down. Finds the final man. Dexter is gone, removes him from the equation. There's a little cha-cha slide as well for style points, and that is going to be Renegades getting themselves a 15th round.
Left, right, good night with those op shots. 15-7, match point here for Renegades. 8 match points as well, which also means we need to see an 8-round hot streak for Grayhound to claw it back. Get it to 15-15 as they can no longer win this game in regulation. Have to force overtime, have to try and win it in OT. Which seems very, very unlikely, so. Orb for Gratisfaction once again. AKs for Caster Malta. UMP, CZ for the remaining players from Grayhound. So the buy is weak again. And so is the information they have gathered. Aggression coming in towards the B side, but Dexter actually expecting it here. Knows Renegades are going to be playing extremely confident, having such an advantage here. And they capitalize off of that misfortune. 4 versus 5. Can Grayhound finally transition this into a round win?
Yeah, the battle of the SMGs is going to favour Grayhound temporarily. JKS, though. He'll just adapt, survive and overcome as he waits it out. Hiding in Sunroom, see if anyone is going to come back and once again try and testify and fight against him. Yustillo just hides on the A-bomb site waiting, getting the read. Hearing those audio cues, the push comes in, but it's a nice tag from Dick Stacey. He actually caught him off guard and was able to find that frag. Now you've got A-site control. You've got the lurk in Dexter as well. Surely this is a save round for Renegades.
Has to be. 3 players have weapons. The round loss bonus is going to be $1,400, so Nifty can drop over a scout potentially to Jacob or Yustillo. A UMP even. So they can have weapons to throw over. Azza as well could come back and retrieve the AK from Dexter's corpse. That's going to be upgraded from the FAMAS. But I'm hearing types in the chat. So there might be a pause coming from Renegades if they want to try and, you know, recompose themselves, work out a game strategy in terms of their buy, plus a tactic to try and get that 16th early.
Thing is, you've got those tactical pauses. You might as well use them. There's no reason not to at this point, right? Grayhound are going to start to find their form. If you can slow down that tempo, give yourself a chance to readjust, reassess the situation and go from there. And also because their economy isn't going to be at a peak right now. It's at quite a low point. Take this round as a time to talk it out, hash it out, work out what you want to do once your economy is going to be stable once again. But it doesn't seem like a pause has actually been called tonight.
Wow. Just going to go straight into the next one. And they are going to go force around the 3 saved weapons. CZ for Yustillo, MP9 for Jacob, and obviously the 3 weapons that were saved by the CTs. For Grayhound, you know, they have good money, but it doesn't really mean anything at this point. They lose 1 round, it's all over. So they are going to continuously have a full buy for the remaining portion of this match, however long it will go on for. But boosted from JKS. Mountain may be holding for it. But actually JKS playing a passive, so what they might be doing here is waiting for either grenades to be thrown towards connectors so JKS can peek with the good timing. They could also be holding for Grayhound to go for an A or B set play so JKS can come in for the flank. as even the frag speed found it in tune now so far for Grayhound. The peak from JKS hasn't been used.
Oh, but here he goes. He was waiting for the correct timing, almost.
Oh, that could have been 3.
Yeah, that could have been a triple. One after the other, he could have taken them down, but punished. Gratisfaction, 2 major kills with that AWP. Looking for more. Urkash, though, annihilates Jacob. In that one, it's just the superior firepower that wins him the round, really. And he's still all he's got left is a CZ. He's in a 1 versus 4. Tries to push round. Caught out by Dick Stacy, but does kill him. Grab that M4 as well, potentially. I mean, no one is close by him. It's a bit of an interesting one at this point. I mean, Grayhound should win the round here. There's no real chance, as Justillo doesn't have a kit. He's only got 28 HP, but if you can save the weapon, at least it's something. It's an extra bit of a firepower that they can carry through into that next round, because their economy isn't in a great spot.
Yeah, just an M4 to save here. Flashbang as well of the CZ, so could drop over the CZ to a player. Flash some pistols in towards a main, try and get a main control, try and get a frag, pick up an AK, try and convert that into the 16th. Apart from that, just going to be saving and hoping that Renegades can try and get lucky behind Justillo's M4. As it goes 9 now for Grayhound, and this 8-round deficit they were once in now dwindles to 6. But good play so far. Problem is, though, once again, this time they were 15-7 down or 15-6 down. Before they were 13-5 down once they actually found some form. Twice now it's just been too late once we actually see Grayhound, find some confidence and some, footing in this matchup. Needed to see this earlier, but let's see. Eco here for the remaining players from Renegades. They can go for some pistols here potentially, but they are only on a 2,400 round loss bonus once they lose this one, so Nifty can afford the AWP, everyone else can buy as well. JKS actually having $3,800. Can afford a secondary AWP if Renegades want to bring that out. And the double AWP setup could be very strong as well. Think about how Grayhound have been playing. Peeking towards B, peeking towards A, peeking over boost as well. Those AWPs are so strong. Almost kryptonite versus those contact plays.
Dexter with the adjustment. That was quite quick there. Smart stuff. Finds that frag onto Justillo. Will be able to kill him off. Trying to make Renegades go extinct here. And Grayhound now. If they win this, this is going to be a 10-15. Then they're 5 rounds away. That seems a little bit more achievable than the position they were really originally in. It's going to be a hard-fought fight, as even now they're still taking damage. But Gratisfaction with the AWP is able to hold them off, keep them at the distance of a barge pole. But Nifty killed once again. Gratisfaction carrying on to just rip him a new one as he rails through them with this big green gun. And it's just Azza and JKS that remain. The bomb's planted. Grayhound have 4 players. This should be a 10th round for him.
As soon as Justillo dropped out the server there, so did the chance of Renegades actually winning that round. The only firepower they had. Taken up by Dexter. A very nice shot, as you said. The adjustment there on the flick towards the back of MA and over the smoke. Does mean Grayhound get to 10 now, so they go away from the M4, go back towards the B site where there's only USPs with no Kevlar holding. Easily able to walk in, get the bomb planted. Now they're going to be seeing themselves get to that 10th round. So double digits on both maps. Already better than I anticipated, which is good. But unfortunately, it's not quite as close as Overpass did allude to. Because now he can still fight back against a massive lead, but this time, Jack, there's no chance of winning it in regulation. They have to force OT. Renegades still have 5 chances to finish it off, though, as they are going to see the AWP onto Nifty, already on 27 frags. The M4s for the remaining players. So yeah, it is. The double AWP set up from Renegades, so good plan here. JKS can AWP towards B, Nifty can AWP towards the A side. They can play 3 rifles towards middle, and this is now a big test for Grayhound. If they carry on the game style they had before by peeking angles and winning duels with headshots from their AKs, that game plan might stop working versus all these AWPs.
Nice action, yeah. Getting the tag off there as they try and find these early kills. So, such an important round, this one. Because obviously Renegades, they have cash. This time around, they actually have weapons out. And Renegades with a strong arsenal does not bode well for Greyhounds, as they need to just have a flawless game. It's got to be a display of real strength. Let's see where it goes from here, though. It's grouped up outside of the B site. Justillo getting closer towards Garbage as he just hunkers down and lies in wait. Mouter waiting over by main. Dick Stacey close to the door. They're keeping it slow. They're keeping it steady, Snods. They don't want to rush into the unknown and really leave themselves in a dire spot.
Still a 5 versus 5. Passive players from both teams. They know what's at stake. Smoke out towards Highway, Molotov towards Forklift, as a spots one towards Squeaky, but actually, it's all a ruse. The real game plan from Grayhound going on towards the B side. JKS with a very, very audacious second flick there. Maybe overconfident. He does make it a 4 versus 4.
Gratisfaction could be caught in his pants around his ankles, was adjusting, so he can use his AWP, but he finds the drive-by headshot. Takes down Asa. Justillo, though, slays 2 of them. As he tackles him with the M4, it's only Mouter that remains, and he's going to be punished. Justillo with a free K as he starts to slay, and that is it. Done and dusted. Grayhound, it looked like maybe they were starting to find their footing. They got a little bit of a louder bark again, but they have been silenced. The dogs have been let out. They've all run away, and they will not be carrying on with their tournament run. But instead, that is going to be Renegades moving on. They were able to achieve it. That's a 2-0 win for them, and a good performance from the entire squad, but I think it's got to be said, Jacob just was wild the entire time.
Yeah, we have some highlights as well to peer over, and a lot of those are going to be including Jacob. In terms of firepower and frags, you know, it was Nifty stealing the show. 27 kills for himself here after the 26 rounds were played out, so equal basically to 1 frag a round, and that 1 impact frag could be the difference maker here. Urkas with a crazy 3K. At this point, you know, we thought, okay, this could be the saving grace for Grayhound. They can make it 10-5 at the half, win the second half pistol, but there he is again, Nifty.
Yeah.
With the 3K towards CT lower. Premature push from Grayhound before the CT smoke even bloomed, and that round should have gone in favor of Grayhound. Nifty should have never been able to find those frags if Grayhound just played more passive, and once again, it begs the question, what happened if Grayhound didn't throw away that second half pistol?
There's so many rounds that seem to be Grayhound set themselves up to win, but there's a slight communication breakdown. They get overconfident, they get a bit flustered. It seems like in the heat of the moment, it's all a bit too much. And you can see, obviously, that's something that will adapt with time and something they'll improve on, but it's a slight issue, and it's cost them a couple of key rounds in this matchup, and obviously what we saw in Overpassed as well, that allowed it to swing in favor of Renegades over time.
Close rounds, but inevitably the favorites go through. 2-0. 16-13 on Overpass, 16-10 on Cash, and that final map as well should have been a lot quicker. It was a 15-5 scoreline. So Grayhound, once again, they start firing off on all cylinders far too late into the matchup. You know, 13-5 down, 16-5 down. We need to see them, you know, fight tooth and nail throughout the start.
Yeah, they got to come in strong at an earlier standpoint. And the thing is, it seems like they have confidence there. A lot of the players were able to just go wild at times. Dick Stacey was flamboyant with his deagle. He knew what he was up to. I mean, Gratisfaction as well definitely stepped up to the mark a few times there and was able to lay a few people out. But it was too thin and far between. You
know, Gratisfaction, he has these crazy rounds. You know, the thing with Nifty is he has the monstrous flicks, the monstrous rounds where he has his crazy 4Ks, but he still delivers a frag around, it seems, 25 kills every map, 20 frags minimum. Whereas Gratisfaction is more like a 15 frags, but he has that one round where he gets 2 crazy flicks, and they're the ones you remember. So in terms of impact, you know, yes, he has crazy rounds, but Nifty's the real star of the show. Yeah, he had barrels of impact frags tied to him, as you said, basically averaging a frag around there the entire game, which is, it's a good stat to have. That's consistency for you, and that's what you need to make a good cake. So obviously works out well for him. But that is going to be that series done and dusted. It's wrapped up, meaning Renegades take the win. They were able to overpower opponents there in Grayhound. Didn't really work out well for them, obviously. Ends the run for the other Australian team in the tournament and means Renegades is going to be the only Australian team that move on from this point. But by no means are we done for the day. Still 2 more best of 3s to come. They'll be coming up next after this break.
Nifty again on the site. Let's see some more magic, my friend, with that orb. Chris J goes down. Oh, Nifty! And Nifty is coming up absolutely insane right now for the Renegades.
The 1v3 needed from the god himself, Nico, known for brilliance. And he needs to call upon it right here, right now. Device cowers in the corner. The shot goes off. Oh, he's got it! And now the 1v1. Dupree closing in. He's got the rifle as well, but Nico, you know what he can do. And he looks, he waits. Dupree etches forward, and Nico's a god in these situations, and he's just shown you as to why.
Gonna retrieve the AWP as he makes his way to Nana. Two members here. He finds one. Sicko just going to be trying to buy time right now, just dancing around the broken wall. Rush is watching the line. Beautiful flick coming out from Rush. They're sticking the defuse right now, but no one's covering him. They can't get the kill. Rush, you can't be doing this. You're absolutely insane. Now down to a one-on-one. Imagine's just going to tap it once, and Rush, he's just going to let it reset before he peeks in. Imagine has to stick it. Rush, he's going to peek in. He's going to get the 1-on-4.
Guaranteed round at this point, unless Sir can go absolutely huge as he holds towards the vent.
Yeah, Cirque, everyone talks about him. Here we go. Oh, what is that shot?
Oh, God, no.
Three.
No!
Surely there's no way.
Straight into B is Azakev.
Yeah, he's on the entry, but BenTett's actually here with the AK-47. Ooh. That's actually the bomb and the AWP loss. He's still going in. That's a beautiful flashbang coming out. Oh my goodness, God. BenTett, you can't do that. That is disgusting.